Louise, welcome, and thank you very much for being with us. I'll give you the floor because you wanted to give us an update on the new evacuation orders from Eastern Khan Yunis. Please.
Yes, thank you. So in Eastern Khan Yunis, there were new evacuation orders, displacement orders issued last night. Already on the ground, we have seen people moving, families moving, people starting to pack up their belongings and try and leave this area. UNRWA estimates that around 250,000 people have been impacted by these orders. Of course, as usual, we expect these numbers to grow, but for us, this is it's another devastating blow to the humanitarian response here. It's another devastating blow for the people and the families on the ground. It seems that they are forcibly being displaced again and again. Making these decisions is now impossible. How do parents decide where to go? Where is there to go? Already in our drive this morning, just through the middle Gaza area, along the coastal road, you can see the makeshift shelters right up to the shoreline, right up to the water coming in. It is absolutely packed with family who have already had to move. Khan Yunis just a few weeks ago was a ghost town. I was there myself. It was completely empty because there's so much damage and destruction in this area. There is so limited infrastructure in terms of water availability, in terms of resources. And after the Rafah incursion and military operation there, that is what forced families back into this area. And now already, because of the orders last night, these same families are having to move again. Where do they go? We do not have this answer. There is absolutely no safe place in the Gaza Strip. This is something we have maintained for the duration of this war. But really, physical space we're talking about now. Where do these families go? Where can they physically go? Families in the Gaza Strip are trapped here. There is not an option to leave. There is so much military operations in the north, from Beit Hanun to Gaza City. In the middle area last night, we had bombardments all through the night. We had airstrikes very near to where we are staying ourselves, in the Nusayriya area. We have bombardments in Khan Yunis and in Rafah. With all of this military operation ongoing, it is very difficult for families to make this decision. It's a very highly active military zone. There is no safety to leave. And as UNICEF reported earlier in the year, 17,000 children are unaccompanied or separated. What about these children? What decisions are these children making? What about the elderly? What about the sick? It is over 30 degrees Celsius here every day. There is very limited availability for fresh drinking water. It is not easy for anyone of full health to be able to be making such a move in the circumstances that we are facing now. There is trash everywhere. There is disease spreading. The options on the ground are very, very difficult for families and for people here to be making. So I'll leave it there, and thank you for having me today, and over to any questions.
Thank you very much, Louise, for coming and briefing us. I'll open the floor to questions now. And again, as I said, Margaret's there if you needed to ask her anything. I don't see, yes, Emma Farge, Reuters.
Hi, Louise. Thanks for briefing us again. You mentioned 250,000 had been impacted by these orders. What does that mean? And do you have a count for the newly displaced within sort of 24 hours? Do you know roughly how many people have been newly displaced? Any update on the fuel situation? I know your operations were grounded for a while over the last week. Have you got any in, and can you operate? Thank you.
Louise?
So, yes, thank you. So these recent orders came through overnight. We mobilized teams almost immediately to the areas, and we are trying to get some kind of count on. So we will be reporting those counts. If you keep watch of the UNRWA Twitter feed, that will update with the most recent numbers. 250,000 is our estimate for the entire area impacted, but we will be updating regularly with the numbers of people moving throughout the coming days. In terms of the fuel, yes, we did receive some fuel. It was 2 days ago we received some fuel, so we have now some limited fuel for the vehicles. diesel and fuel is both still restricted. We're still, operating on a day-by-day basis, and it really restricts the humanitarian response when we don't have the ability to plan long-term, knowing when we will receive fuel, knowing how much fuel will reach us, in order to keep, hospital generators running, desalination plants, and of course, the fuel for our vehicles as well. So, as always, we are really living hand to mouth in this humanitarian response. And just to add that the most recent evacuation orders will severely impact our ability to reach the Kerem Shalom crossing as well. This area is where we have been driving through. Of course, we used to be based in Rafah until the military operations there. We have now since been operating out of Nusayrat, but to get to the Kerem Shalom crossing with the aid, we do travel through Khan Yunis. So this evacuation order also impacts our ability to receive aid and distribute aid to the population.
Very clear. Other question in the room before I go to the platform? No? Okay. Antonio Berto, the Spanish news agency.
Hello. So can you tell us which direction are these evacuees going, and are they going south to Rafah, which also had some evacuation orders in recent weeks, or are they going to the coast? If you have more information. And also, I know it's difficult, but the total of people that have left Khan Yunis in recent months. Thank you.
So this is, a family by family basis. When the Rafah military operation began, people were making decisions based on what they could do, how far they could move as family. Like I said, there's people with the elderly, people with the sick. So for each family, they will be making decisions based on what they can do themselves, maybe where they have other family. Our understanding so far is people are going towards the west, so that is towards the coast. But we will have more information on this throughout the day and as this unfolds. And we also have a lack of, as we have for 8 months, a severe lack of communications on the ground. So even to communicate with our own staff who are currently out reporting on this, it's very difficult for us to receive this information, even those ourselves in Gaza in real time, because the comms continuously cuts out because of the fuel restrictions that we have. So all of these things they're not only impacting our ability to have the humanitarian response, but also our reporting and communications among each other becomes very difficult. So as I said, as soon as we have more information on this, we will be sharing across our platforms. In terms of the numbers from Khan Yunis, this is something I will be able to look up and get back to you on. But there were 1.4 million people originally in Rafah before May 6th. These people, relocated to various areas, including Khan Yunis, and now again in Khan Yunis, 250,000 people impacted by the current evacuation orders there.
Thank you.